In a moment frozen in time, the sound of gunfire, screams, confusion, a single figure stood out. Amid the chaos of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, one woman didn't run, didn't flinch, didn't even lower her camera. She kept filming, and then she vanished. This is the Dark Sermon. Stories from the shadows. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, remains one of the most examined events in modern history. Thousands of photographs, eyewitness accounts, and frames of film have been analyzed endlessly. Yet, within all that evidence, one unknown witness stands out. A woman wrapped in a headscarf, standing calmly as the world fell apart around her. She became known only as the Babushka Lady. In the minutes before the presidential motorcade entered Dealey Plaza in Dallas, crowds lined Elm Street for a glimpse of the president and First Lady. The weather was clear, spirits were high, and anticipation filled the air. Among the faces in the crowd was a woman wearing a headscarf tied under her chin, resembling the traditional scarves worn by elderly Russian women, called babushkas. In photos and films of the assassination, this woman appears standing on the grass near Elm Street, holding what seems to be a camera. While others screamed, ducked, or fell to the ground, she remained upright, still, deliberate, and focused. Researchers have found her in multiple sources: the Zapruder film, the Nix film, the Much More film, and several still photographs. Each time she appears unshaken, recording as the president's limousine passes, then, after the shots, moving calmly toward the street. Despite her clear presence, no one has ever conclusively identified her, and to this day, no one has produced the footage she may have captured. The FBI, Secret Service, and later the United States House Select Committee on Assassinations all reviewed thousands of photos and films. But no camera footage or negatives matching the Babushka Lady's position were ever turned in. The committee's 1979 report officially stated, "No film linked to the Babushka Lady was located." This unexplained gap in the record, one of the clearest witnesses, yet no corresponding evidence, gave rise to a half-century of speculation. Over the years, several people have claimed to be the Babushka Lady. The most famous claim came from a woman named Beverly Oliver, a nightclub performer from Texas. In 1970, she told researcher Gary Shaw that she had filmed the assassination using a Yashica Super 8 camera and later handed the undeveloped film to two men who identified themselves as FBI agents. She said she never saw the footage again. Oliver's story caught fire, especially among conspiracy researchers, but critics quickly noted major problems. The Yashica Super 8 camera she described wasn't sold until 1965, 2 years after the assassination. And witnesses recall that the Babushka Lady appeared to be middle-aged, not a 17-year-old teenager, which Oliver would have been at the time. Even so, her claim remained popular. She appeared in Oliver Stone's 1991 film JFK as herself, reinforcing the mythic power of the figure. Yet, historians and photographic experts have never accepted her account as credible. The evidence that does exist paints a picture both detailed and incomplete. In various frames, the Babushka Lady appears wearing a light brown or tan trench coat, a headscarf tied under her chin, and possibly sunglasses. She stands on the south side of Elm Street, near the Dallas County building. When the shots ring out, witnesses nearby dive for the ground, but she does not. She holds the camera up and continues to film. Moments later, after the final shot, she is seen crossing Elm Street, moving toward the east side of the plaza. Then she's gone. No police report, no interview, no identified photos submitted. Just gone. For many, this raises a haunting question. If she truly had a camera pointed toward the president's car, what did she record? Her position would have given her one of the clearest angles of the limousine during the fatal shot. A single undeveloped roll of film could have revealed details, or perhaps even disproved, long-standing theories about what happened in Dealey Plaza. Yet, that film has never surfaced. Some theorists believe she was part of a government operation. Others think she might have been an ordinary person who panicked and later destroyed or hid the footage out of fear. Still others believe the film might have been confiscated immediately by authorities and lost among the thousands of pieces of evidence collected that day. But there's no hard proof for any of those claims, only an enduring silence. One often overlooked document from 1994 deepens the mystery. The Assassination Records Review Board received testimony that a woman had once brought a film to a Kodak processing lab in Dallas, a film that supposedly captured part of the assassination. Technicians allegedly described the footage as too blurry to be of any use, and the customer was never identified. Could that have been the Babushka Lady? No one can say. The enduring fascination with her comes from this paradox. The Kennedy assassination is one of the most documented moments in human history, yet one of its closest witnesses remains a ghost. Every few years, new documentaries, researchers, and online sleuths revisit the footage, circling her presence in red, slowing her movements frame by frame, hoping for a new clue. But nothing new emerges. Her anonymity has transformed her into an icon of the unknowable, a symbol of how, even in an age of surveillance and endless analysis, some truths simply refuse to reveal themselves. She reminds us that history is never fully captured, that even in moments witnessed by millions, a single perspective can vanish, taking the answers with it. Imagine her now, standing there, the camera pressed to her face, the echo of gunfire in the plaza. What did she see? What did she record? And why has no one ever seen it? We may never know who the Babushka Lady was, but her image, calm amid chaos, filming as history tore itself apart, will always endure. A silent witness to one of America's darkest moments, who then disappeared into the crowd forever. If this story unsettled you, there are more sermons waiting in the dark. Subscribe and step back into the shadows with us.